Hello and welcome back to Insane Nightmare. Today we are going to be moving houses. I need to build a new home somewhere more useful. So what I think we're going to do is take the gyrocopter out for a little bit, scout out a new location. We'll probably want to bring the 4x4 in case I have to go on foot, quotation marks, and locate a new place to live. So what I'm going to be looking for is somewhere near the wasteland so that we can start taking quests in the wasteland later on, which is mostly for entertainment value. There's no real advantage to actually doing that, but we can certainly do it for the fun of it, that's for sure. We have a town on my left and a town on my right. I can't tell if the one on the left's in the wasteland though. Right, well, if we're going near the wasteland to discover who's inside and what's going on, we should really break out the 4x4 because the gyrocopter can't see a damn thing from inside the fog of the wasteland. Here we go, refuel that. Okay, so we're coming up to a bit of a crossroads here. There's a town on my right and a town on my left. Let's check out this little town to the right. And hey, since we're a reasonable level in the wasteland, I might want to check these cars for anything good. A level 6 steel pick. I was correct to decide that. Now, is it actually better than my pick? It is, but it's not going to give me any benefits whatsoever. Now that everything at tier 3 has mods anyway, this steel pick is going to one hit and two shot the exact same things as mine. So I have upgraded, but there was no actual advantage to doing that. Is there really no trader in this town? It's quite uncommon. Okay, well, we can head back to that junction I found and drive over to the other town. I'm sure there's a trader around here somewhere, but I'm just not seeing it, because there's almost always a trader in a town. So, as you can see, I can see very little. I do know that the road out of that town there to the west is a main road, so it'll probably lead to some other urban area. So if we just meet up with that road and then continue west, we should be good. Is that a trader compound over there? Is that Hugh? Hugh is slightly leveled. He wouldn't be too hard to get up to like tier 5 and then start doing some cool stuff. Is that the Pop and Pills factory? There we go, that's what we want to see. An actual T5 P, because I need to keep my thing flying. There we go. So the Pop and Pills factory is there, that's a good tier 5. So somewhere with good access to this town would be pretty good. Let's bleat. That's all I have time to write. Distance isn't too important because obviously we have the gyrocopter, but I don't want to have to go too far. So maybe the nearest patch of forest to this town would be the best place to build. Is that Trader Jen up there? Well, she would actually be able to give me tier 6s right now, so living near her would be very advantageous. Looks like this is another trader here though, Trader Bob I think. Okay, so let's see if we can't find the road that leads into the town where Jen is. So building on this road would be the smartest choice, I think. I even have access to like 3 different biomes here. I got the wasteland there, snow biome there, and a little bit of desert up the road, which would be good for oil. Here could work. Right, so what I'm going to do here is quite odd. I know I want to make a 15 by 15 base, right? Underground. That's my plan. I'm going to make crafting base that's 15 by 15 underground, and then I'm gonna build like a house on top of it, plus like some walls. So there, we marked that out, so I should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool, that's correct in that direction. Then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So yeah, that is correct. So we can now take these up and then dig it down to the height I want it to be, which will be about 13 deep. I'm going to dig this down 13-ish blocks. I've got some frames so I can, you know, do everything fine. We'll see what we get left behind here. This is going to start off very easy with the clay, and then it's going to take a while once we reach the stone. Oh, you know what? I am going to go home and I'm going to queue up a bunch of crafting stations because they take ages to craft. So it would be more efficient for my time to do that. Now, let me mark this out. New home. There we go. And I'll fly back over. I'll queue up the crafting stations I want to have in this base. And then I'll fly back over, dig out that big hole, and and get started on actually building the base. We'll fly back over again, get all of my old stuff, and do what we can. Well, this is going to spill a load of cobblestone into my inventory now. I'm going to put this in the... I'm going to put this in the gyrocopter. I forgot I had queued all that. That is a solid amount. I think I'm going to want 6 workbenches. Now, I'll explain this one more time in my series here, because people always ask me why I make so many. It's so that I can do multiple things at the same time. If I have one workbench and it takes me an hour to craft, 10 things, I can split that between 6 workbenches, and then it'll take me 10 minutes to have all that same thing. Apply that to forges, cement mixers, and chemistry stations. That's why I try and have so many workstations, and the reason it's so important to me to be able to do things in 10 minutes versus an hour is because this is a series where I need to be able to do things on a whim quickly, because things have to be done quickly in order for them to be in episodes without it taking an extra hour for me to record an episode just because I needed to craft some amount of cobblestone, for example. So you don't need this much at home. But I need it for the sake of production. That'll take 7 minutes, which absolutely sucks. I'll also need 400 nails. I doubt I have many nails in storage, but let me check. Yeah, no, so I'll queue up 400 nails. See how much faster this would be, though, if I had 10 forges instead of just 1. And then queue up 15 more glue. That's not a lot. I do have a lot of different things I need to build. Right, so that's that considered, at least. Forges, I'll want about... I think 7, depending on how I thought about this base design. So 7 forges, I have 2, so I need another 15 duct tape. But I also need a bit of short iron pipes. Leather. Wood logs, that'll just make in my inventory. And cobblestone, which I have a bunch of in various locations, to be honest with you. So forge. Do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. There's 5 forges. Really low on leather. Shouldn't be an issue though. For chemistry stations, I would need cooking pots. If I wanted, say, another 3 chemistry stations, which is a lot, but it could be needed, I'll need more cooking pots. Here's 2. I'll need... Oh, there's a screamer, 1 second. Don't worry, I have a plan for the screamers that having such a ridiculous base is going to be summoning. Right, what was I saying? Yeah, I'll need 7 more cooking pots. And a little bit more pipes. I'll need 18 more pipes. See, having 1 forge is a bit of a bottleneck here. Now, obviously, I do have 2, but this one is purely cement. That's all that one does. Then I would need 3 beakers. I'm sure I have that. Not sure where I keep my beakers, though. Here. Perfect, I had exactly 3. And I'll need... Was that 15 acid? Yep. God, for all the car scrapping I did trying to get engines, and all I could get was bloody acid. So then it's just cooking pots.
I've got it all.
Let's sell her some silver, some diamonds, some gold, some club parts, some handgun parts, and my old shotgun. She has a little bit of water, which is something. She has a tiny bit of forged iron, which will speed this along. A lot of duct tape, perfect, that will really help. Here we go, right, let's queue up another workbench. And another... Oh, I need a little bit more nails. And then another workbench. Take these forges out. I will put them in the gyrocopter for some storage. Here we are. Now, I do know that there are actually better ways of doing this speed-wise. I could use dynamite. I could dig down to the height that I want to be at and mine under everything else. But the thing is, this is a lot of resources, and I have plenty of time. So why not, right? Why not just gather up all of this? I want it to be about 13 deep, so I'm going to get a decent amount of clay and a decent amount of stone out of this. There we go. Top layer of clay is out, and that's the easy part. I got about 30,000 there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're 5 down. That stone layer took forever. But look at the materials I'm getting. I'm going to be able to, like, reimburse myself for all the cobblestone I'm going to use on this base. Very, very easily. I wonder if I should go back and check on those workbenches now. Ow, my ears. There we go. That's what happens if your containers overflow, by the way. You don't lose anything. It just kind of spills out really quickly. That was extremely loud. For me, anyway. Right, there we go. We got 5 workbenches. I'm actually going to place the workbenches and use them to help me in my little quest here. There, and that can go there. This is cramped, but it's fine. Let's see. Beakers, pipes, duct tape, more forged iron, scrap. We can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I needed a 6th workbench. And then for chemistry stations, I can make 1, 2, and I need more forged iron. That's going to take a few minutes to craft, that's fine. Right, so in the interest of moving more materials over, what do we have here? I mean, the big ones are going to be moving all my stone and iron and stuff across. Everything else is less of a priority. So let me fill up the gyrocopter with this. I'll make storage chests on the side of the road for it. Right, so here's most of my raw materials, honestly. We gathered in the last episode during all the testing. My inventory can be filled with more stuff, though. Let me just make sure I can make a storage chest. Oh, there's more clay and stone? Oh my god. Let me pick up my... Oh yeah, I need to place my land claim block here in the meantime, so that I can pick up my other stuff. I'll take my cement mixers over. I don't need them for now, so they can just go in a box over there waiting for the base to be done. Then I can queue up one more chemistry station. Let's see, who's not crafting anything? You. Right, let's head over and do another big session of mining. Okay, so on these last few blocks here, we will be 8 blocks down out of 13. And as you can see, I have 80,000 stone. And that's just from the last few layers I've been doing. I ran out of food in the middle of the night, so I went into the snow biome and killed a few mountain lions and made myself some charred meat. We do what we must. But yeah, we're 8 blocks down, we need to get to 13, so that's 5 more, obviously. I started using the pickaxe. It's going about the same pace, so I'm going to keep using it, because it's quieter. There we go. This workbench is done, let's pick it up as well. Pick this one up. And pick you up. And pick up this one, I'm assuming? Yep. How's the chemistry station doing? Let's take everything out of it. Cancel all that and just pick this up as well. I should have enough gas to finish what I'm doing. How about this workbench? Yep, we have room for that. Right, so 6 workbenches, 4 chemistry stations, and 4 cement mixers. Let me dump some stuff in the gyrocopter here. Oh, I should pick up the dew collectors as well. Speaking of dew collectors, actually, 3 water filters, a bunch of this. What do I need to make the last few dew collectors? Pipes and duct tape. Let's see here. How about I cancel that and ask for 12 pipes. Let's see if there's any glue in the gyrocopter there. Yeah, let's make 12 duct tape. While we wait for that to craft out, let me also pick up the dew collectors, because we'll need them over at the base as well. There we go. Take these pipes and craft the last 3 dew collectors we'll need, for now at least. Also, I want to grab up all of this. The campfire can stay, that's not important. Right, I got a little bit more inventory space. Right, that's all I can carry between me and the gyrocopter. Let's head back over. Dig up some more before the horde night. We are 8 levels deep. I need 13 levels deep. I have probably about 4 in-game hours before I have to run back and do the horde night. But we can probably get this done in this episode if I go into day 29. So let me drink some beer. I think I have the thing that stops me from blurring my screen. Yep, let me just queue up 3 of them, why not? Now, it won't get you extra ore like coffee does, but it gives you more stamina regen, so it'll just save me having to use more coffee, because I think I ran out. So this works fine. There we go. I'm not sure what I want to spend that on. Let's see. Agility. We could go into bows, but I don't think it's necessary. Hidden Strike's going to handle most of that. Strength's good. You know, I wouldn't mind cheaper glue and faster forges and stuff. So I will put 1 point into advanced engineering there. I don't want to go too deep into intellect, because it's a bit of a wasted stat on this build. It doesn't need much intellect, but cheaper glue's nice. Let me finish off this layer and then we'll fly back home. Right, let's see. We got this stuff here. Don't need chainsaw, shovel, ratchet, axe, auger, pickaxe. You might need a pickaxe, you never know. Hunting knife I don't need. Right, I need to keep steel on me for the horde night. Probably some concrete as well, actually. I'll need a bunch of 9mm tonight, so I will just grab that. Plus pipe bombs. I'm at the point where I'm mostly just bringing over food and medicine, but I'm fine with that. We can carry the rest of these meds in my inventory, that's fine. Right, let me run over to the horde base then, because I'm not leaving the gyrocopter anywhere near it. Right, let's take a couple of vitamins. I shouldn't get hit, but just in case. I don't want the steel on me, because I'll accidentally upgrade bits of the base to steel that I don't want to be steel. Oh, actually, let's just do this. Just make extra sure they don't want to mess with it, you know? Right, back up here. Put the steel in the box. And hope for the best. With any luck, this should be the last horde night we do at this little base. It could probably take the day 35 horde if I did some minor improvements to it, but I prefer to just build something bigger. You've seen all the materials I've been getting, so I'm obviously going to be able to do it. Here we go. I think we might be almost done with this horde. It's unusual for me to complete the day 28 horde before 4 AM comes, but looks like I did it. Handgun magazine. I imagine I'm going to find many of those. Demolitions, handguns, handgun magazine, other handgun magazine, and there we go. That'll do. I managed to figure out a system to get everything I needed. Let me grab the steel and I'll just eat this salmon. Let's head over to the gyrocopter, fly over to the new base location, and finish off this damn hole. Right, we're back over here. I actually forgot how far we got into it, so I need to remeasure that. 10. Okay, so we need to go down 3 more layers. I can do this today. You know what I just realized after digging this massive hole? The plan for the base I had was only 9 by 9. Why did I do 15 by 15? Why did I do that? Why have I done this? Well, I guess we're doing a 15 by 15 base then. So be it. I'll have a lot more room than I thought. Okay, so I have finally dug down the full 13 blocks here. I need some wood. Where is any of it? There's some more. I might have to actually gather more wood for this. So what I want to do here is probably make, like, genuinely 1,000 frames. And if I don't use 1,000 frames, then it's not an issue. Why is that off-center? Why am I like this? I forgot to measure it the other way. How's that? That looks a bit more centered. Right. I need to place in a big layer of frames. But I want to start by making these bottom ones into concrete so that I can just rest assured that they are going to be pretty solid for the rest of the game. The rest can just be cobblestone for now. So I'm going to place this in, upgrade it all to concrete, and get back to you. Oh yeah, I'll need to get cobblestone, hang on. I should have like 20,000 of it. Let's see, there's 2. And there's a lot more than 2. Should be good. There we go. Now I need to fill in the floor and turn this all into cobblestone as well. There we go. Nice clean cobblestone floor. Now I need a little concrete again, so that I can start putting in the major support beam of the building, which is going to be in the middle. Incidentally, that's going to be where the ladder is as well. I can see no way that that goes wrong. So, something like this. And do sort of that type of situation. Just do a bit of a start there so you get the idea of it, and then put a ladder here. There, and then this doesn't have to be concrete, but I would like the parts that are going to be holding up the next floor to be concrete, because the weird way stability works in 7 Days to Die, that will make it so that it's stronger. I hate that I accidentally turned that one block into concrete. I will need to paint over that now. And the ladder should also be reinforced. So this is how tall this pillar is first going to have to be. And then the part that's going to hold up the actual ceiling, or floor, depending on which level you're on, would have to be the strongest, because that'll provide the most support to the surrounding blocks. We need a few more ladders. Ideally, this layer of ladder should also be concrete. There we go. So I need to reinforce all the rest of this to be cobblestone. We can take that out for now. Right, so we have the start of our center support there. And then what I need to do is just turn all of this into blocks as well. I need to start with the corners and make those concrete, just so that I can not have to worry about ever upgrading them, because they will become pretty inaccessible. So I'm not really precisely doing these pillars. They're all going to have to be concrete eventually. I'm just going to get in this first part out of the way. Where is that concrete? Right, let's turn all these pillars into concrete. Right, pillars are upgraded. Let me start taking out some of this ladder here. And here, I could probably parkour up to these pretty easily with a couple of blocks. Now, I want to fill in the walls entirely here. I'll make them cobblestone. They probably don't even need to be cobblestone, but you know what? I want the XP and I have the cobblestone, so why not, right? Although maybe actually, let me use my brain here. I should connect the pillars to the wall, and then make it so that this is also concrete, because again, that will provide the maximum support to the floor of that level, and then we can bother with the walls once we know the actual height we're supposed to be operating at here anyway. There we go. Let's turn all these top layers into concrete. I don't know if I have enough, but it'll be exposed at the top, so I can come and bring the cement mixers in, start making more cement, and then reinforce the top if I run out, but I should be okay. Third skill point from this. Okay, I'm out of concrete here, but that is fine. Those parts can be turned into concrete later. Let's fill in the walls and cobblestoneify them. Right, all the walls are now cobblestone. What remains is apparently to reinforce this one block I missed. I'll need to make that concrete in a bit. I need to fill in the ceiling, or the floor, depending on which floor you're actually standing on. Hopefully this is secure enough, like 2 beams of concrete should be able to hold up this much cobblestone. If not, we're going to find out, and I'm going to waste a lot of materials and time, but I believe in it. Alright, good news. The ceiling didn't collapse. Now we have the bottom floor of my crafting base here. I'm actually almost at a cobblestone, but do not worry, I have way more up here. I'm just surprised that like the 12,000 I grabbed is actually almost running out, but as you can see, materials are not a concern. But what I do want to do is get more concrete, and to do that I'm going to have to actually set up my crafting base. Cement mixers, I'll just get everything while I'm here. So there's 7 forges. I think I actually want to upgrade that to 10. I have some plans that could be useful there, but let's put my workbenches in here. Let's need some lights in here, but for now we'll have to deal with my helmet light. There's 6 workbenches. Then I want my chemistry stations. I'll leave a gap in the middle there. We'll maybe fill that in with pillars or storage containers later. And then that leaves me with room here for cement mixers. I will need a lot more of these in the long run, I think. But right now, 4 of them can sit there. I plan on using this a little bit for cooking, but I don't have any meat on me anyway, so I'm kind of just living off the canned food I brought. So yeah, we have a lot of crafting set up here. Now, what I need is concrete. Now, there's more cement upstairs, so let me go grab some. I'd also like to get a bunch of wooden spikes. Okay. So that I can kind of just ignore the screamers for a little bit. It's only a temporary solution, of course. But it will mean that I can kind of just continue on and not worry about the screamers at all. But let's see what I have in terms of the cement here. A bunch of crushed sand, cement, and more cement. So we got about 2,000 cement, is it? Yeah, that's enough. The space doesn't have to all be concrete. So I'll do like 500 in each of the cement mixers. Cool. I also want a bunch of wooden spikes. Now they're very, very expensive, so I'll try and just go for like 1 layer. But let's go for like 8 in each of these. And that'll be done in like 30 seconds because I have so many workbenches. Right, let me concrete this whole layer here. I expect a screamer basically every minute at this point. There, that is all concreted up. The next thing we need to do is just that exact same thing over again. I don't even know what I want to put on this floor except probably some storage, because obviously this base was designed with a 9x9 in mind, and I've basically taken the 2 rooms I was gonna make and put them on the bottom floor there, leaving a lot of room to play with here. Now I could do something like an underground dew collector farm or an underground farm, but I plan on building a house on top of the bunker, which means you would have some real issues with light and sky access respectively, so yeah, that's probably not going to work, basically, is what I'm getting to there. Oh, there we go. I'm remembering why I never make underground bases. There, that's the little wooden hatch. It's gonna completely fuck me over various times, I'm sure. I wonder if I should make like a little shed here, like a doorway. There we go. Perfect base. So the next thing I want to do is dig up basically the inside of this green border that the land claim block gives me so that I can start placing a foundation block for a wall. That'll just make sure that the wall is a little bit more secure. Am I actually out of cobblestone? My god, I actually am out of cobblestone. I mean, aside from the 500 I have. Well, that actually presents a bit of an opportunity because for this wall, I want to just start it with cobblestone because, again, I don't have much wood and I have so many skill points. You know, I have 4 spare. I don't even know what I want to spend them on, so there's no real priority for XP. So if I just go in here and ask for cobblestone, you need to make cobblestone rocks and then the blocks? That's annoying. Right, let me go ahead and make 1,000 cobblestone in each of these. There we go. So I'm going to dump a bunch of materials. I'm going to dig up the first layer of the wall I want to put in here. Now, annoyingly, the terrain isn't flat, so there might be some differing heights here. Let me work this out. I guess I should make the wall the same height on all the sides, because I really don't like the idea of the top of the wall being different heights. So what I'll do is just account for the highest point and make it so that the highest point is at least 3 blocks above the ground, and then every other block matches that height. That gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above what it currently is. Let me check it over here as well. At the highest point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That should be good. That'll give me a decent height of wall here that zombies aren't just going to pile over it when I'm just sitting there. And it's going to give me a really tall base here. It'll be like 6 blocks tall. Right, and now with all my cobblestone, how many blocks can I make? Right, let's do 100 in each of these. Abandon the XP from it, because I genuinely don't need any more levels at this stage. More nails. That is plenty of nails. Now, I will need to find the center and leave a door hole at least. I plan on breaking out one of the parts of the wall, probably somewhere over here, and adding like a driveway for it. But for now, I just need to make sure that there is at least a door I can walk through. Everything else can be left behind. See, the one issue is if I misplace a block, I have to do this. There we go. So it took about 300 blocks to do one face. Oh yeah. I've never seen a better looking 7 Days to Die base. You literally couldn't show me one. They don't exist. It still takes ages, by the way, but it would take even longer if I had to sit and upgrade every block. Oh, and I'm out of materials. Right, so we do have a little bit more finished in here, but I think I want to queue up even more cobblestone, since now we know it's going to take, you know, a lot more. I'll probably need another 600 blocks after what I already have, so let's go for what I did before again. I have more than enough stone to do all this. Probably have more than enough clay as well. Thank goodness I did all that auger and shovel and whatever testing, right? And digging out this massive hole so I can do all this dumb shit. But before I tell the last one to do that, I will need to make myself a fireman's axe mod. Another 6,000-ish cobblestone blocks. Cool. While I wait for that, might as well place even more of these blocks here. And I'm out again. Right, let me get the fireman's axe mod. We'll head back over to the old base. I'll cram whatever else I can into my pockets over there, and I'll do the test between the steel axe and the chainsaw. Let me swap out the burning shaft mod. Now, we should actually check if it even helps with trees, right? That was one of the things I didn't know about, so that's how much damage it does without the fireman's mod. It's just under 400 damage. It's 382. So do this. That seems about the same. Let me test another tree that's got 1200 health and we'll be sure. It does like 30 more damage? That can't be right. Well, more importantly, we should see how many hits it takes to actually destroy a tree, because it might only be 30 damage, but it could be a significant improvement, so that's 900 health. Let me find a 1200 one. 1, 2, 3 hits. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4. So while it only lets you do like a tiny bit more damage, it will actually massively increase the speed at which you chop down trees. Because while it's only doing a little bit more damage, it's taking you one less swing, which is pretty significant in time-wise, you know? Okay, so we have on the left we have 50 trees, and on the right we have 50 trees. The one on the right does technically have 2 different kinds of trees, but they're the same health and the same yield, so it should be fine. For this one, rather than timing it, I'm going to use a stopwatch to compare them, and it's just going to be how quickly each one can clear their respective 50 trees. So, let's begin. I just realised 2 things. I am not using the rock busters, and I have not brought my chainsaw. This was very poorly planned, but it's fine. It'll just give me an excuse to come back with the chainsaw, but I'll do the chainsaw one without the rock busters. It's fine, it just gives me another excuse to come up here and sell that stuff for Jen. Okay, it took 3 minutes and 40 seconds for the axe to chop down all those trees. So I will write that down, just so I don't forget that for when I come back and do the next test. Hang on. That was a way of doing that. See, the deer never expect to be attacked from above. And grab the chainsaw this time. There we go. That'll be in my inventory now at least. Let's go inside and check on that cobblestone. It's about halfway there. I'm once again gonna just order out like 100 from each of these. If I don't end up using them, it's fine. Let's get my storage wall started here. 11. Interesting. Right, let's see. Ah, all of my blocks are done, including all the storage. You know what, that is enough storage. I have 1 spare box. This can just go somewhere downstairs where it might be helpful. There we go, with 240-ish blocks to spare as well. Let me go turn off the land claim blocks green bounds, because I don't actually like seeing them. It's just useful to mark out the territory. Did it have to be as big as a land claim blocks territory? No, I just kind of wanted it to be. We know how I am. I'm a little bit weird with these things. Right, let's go chop down the other half of the forest I planted. So there's another 50 trees here. Let me go ahead and get the timer. And let's go. So it took about 2 minutes and 50 seconds for the chainsaw to clear the 50 trees. So assuming your axe can 3-shot the trees, it'll take 3 minutes and 40 seconds. The chainsaw did it in 2 minutes and 50 seconds, so it's a lot faster then. Now, if you could find an axe that could maybe two-shot the trees, we might have a different story there. But I don't see an axe being capable of doing that. So, we got a lot done in today's episode, but also very little at the same time. Basically, we've got the new crafting base, we tested chainsaws versus axes, we moved all of our stuff over, and we're getting prepared for the end game. Now, obviously, this crafting base took way longer than I expected, because I accidentally made it too large, which is fine. It just gives me more opportunities to be creative, and I've changed my idea from house to being more of a military fortress type situation, because the house would look a bit weird with all the big walls around it, because I didn't think the walls were going to be as tall as they are. But given how uneven the terrain is, it kind of has to be. So yeah, a decent amount done. There's still a lot to do on that base. I think between episodes I'll gather up more materials and I'll arrange the storage and sort everything out so that when you guys come back I should have all the forges I need. I need 3 more. I'm sure you trust that I can make a forge at this stage. I'll probably set up the dew collectors as well, because I will start needing that glue. I'll probably set up the campfires and, like I said, sort out the storage, and I'll do that between now and the end of day 31. In the next episode, it'll be day 32, and we'll do something hopefully a bit more interesting while we wait for all the materials to turn into more useful materials to make the new horde base. I imagine this horde base won't be done for day 35. Could be, could not be. It'll depend on how quickly I can get these materials set up. But I think I'm a little bit bored of building and I want to go do some quests, maybe some in the wasteland. But I do have to be careful of getting some ammo. Maybe doing a tier 5 infestation, or 3, with the Trader Jen who's in the wasteland would get me a good amount of ammo, because obviously the infestation caches are filled with it. The one problem being, I'm probably going to end up with a lot of 7.62 ammo I don't really want. But if I'm lucky, I should make a profit on ammo. Even if I clear the entire POI with, like, a shotgun, I should be fine. If not, we could definitely do some lower level infestations, which also give you a decent amount of ammo. But anyway, I have talked enough in this episode. It's already going to be a nightmare to edit. Thank you to my channel members and patrons for making this video possible. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of Insane Nightmare.